Shut up, I'm trying to watch Judge Joe Brown.
Mayonnaise, Dijon. And I'm like, part of me is like, what is that?
I mean, you eat your pineapples today? That's my Get out. But I had a green smoothie.
A detox.
Simple
Segregated
times. That's it. There was literally a hashtag that says for Michelle. I'm talking about Michelle Williams from Destiny Child. I was too busy using our house computer for porn. I didn't necessarily.
Bad AOL.
Right. I was not into watching the little pictures scroll in slowly. Like, oh, yes. And I know you are naked right now.
Oh, when the terrorists go marching in. Oh, when the terrorists go marching in. Oh, they will break into the Capitol. Oh, when the terrorists come marching in. They'll break the windows and run the guards. They'll try to stop the fucking count because they're working with someone who's a liar. Oh, when the terrorists go marching in.
Ooh. The musical stylings
Of Naji.
of Naji.
Rumba.
Ooh.
That was more rumba, less Naji.
Mine was all rumba.
I was waiting on the damn Louisiana trumpet or something to come
I was
busting in.
I was looking for Klaus in the third line. Was a third line band or whatever?
Ooh. The terrorist.
Hey, y'all. We are not terrorists. Reporting live from the citizens of America who are we patriots? I don't fucking know.
I think we're victims. I think we're the victims of the victims.
Reporting live from Not the Round Table. This is your girl, Coley, and
This your boy, Esquire. I'm in the building one more time.
Oh, y'all heard me already. I'm here.
Naji is here. This is Nights at the Round Table, Season 3. Happy 2021, fellas.
Happy 2021.
It
Yes.
started.
It's here.
I still got my
2020
gift
with that
receipt. I'm
wig
ready
on.
to take it back. I'm ready to take it back a little bit.
What is
but
it? My subscription? My free trial has ended. I'm done with 2021. We're done here.
It's what are we, 14 days in or something like that so far?
We are a full 2 weeks into this motherfucker, and it has been nothing but 2020 with a wig on. So,
With bad makeup.
with a bad lace front. Just it's 2020 with a what you call it, like a gas station wig, like
With a quick weave.
with a quick weave.
Quick weave.
Yes,
Quick weave.
with a
Where it's
quick
like
weave.
toe up in the front, but it's all silky on that weave.
Yes, yes.
Like you see
it's-
they root, they got their real roots, but then they got this silky ass braided bun up top.
Right.
Yes.
And it's like you
At certain
just
angles,
pin
it
that
looks
in.
like it's something new and exciting. But when you get close enough, you're like, oh, that's that bullshit.
Yeah, when you see them roots that are busting a jig while she's got that
Wow.
that thing up top. That's exactly what happened. Oh, when those roots
Not a jig.
come marching in.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We out here. It is wild. We out here. Welcome. And here we are. I don't know. The guys are here.
Season 3, episode 8.
Yes. And it's been wild. 2021 has hit us. We have made it through since the last time we saw y'all. And, things have changed. We have changed. But,
Some things have stayed the same.
I would
God
argue
damn
it came in like a wrecking ball.
It did.
It did.
It did.
They never
Yes.
worked so hard at whatever they did.
Besides for the obvious stuff that was happening last week, did y'all see Issa ending the damn show?
man, that was like, that hurt. That hurt my heart to hear that.
Folks, if you don't know, Issa Rae is ending her Insecure TV show on HBO.
Like,
Last season.
Issa, we dedicated a whole, show to you, in your endeavors. I hate that.
It makes me sad because it's one of those shows. It's like I could just watch it, like
Yes.
however, whatever y'all could just be sitting on the couch chit chatting. Like I could still watch it, but
Hell yeah.
but I do understand how you want to go out when you're on top. You don't want to go out because things get dry and get stale.
Yeah.
And she did say on Breakfast Club, she said she knew when it was going to end. I think this was like in season 3. And she said that she didn't want to be insecure forever. So I knew it was going to be I thought it was going to maybe end on season 6, but I'm like, damn, 5? At least 7 for completion.
You know, that's what the Bible say.
Well, she got a lot of work to do in season 5. We have a whole lot of questions, a whole lot of things that need to be resolved. So good luck.
I just hope they don't hit us with a Game of Thrones final season and Insecure. I can't take it.
I trust she's not going to do that.
But it's HBO.
It is HBO.
That's the only. That's
she's
my,
also
that's my
not
only
running. She's also not running to go do Star Wars. So, like those terrorists that did Game of Thrones.
I'm pretty sure they stormed the Capitol.
I'm actually trying to look at some pictures to see if they're in the crowd, dressed as some GOT characters. But look, we're going to get this out the way.
Is that a Lannister?
Right. We are not drinking on anything. We told y'all the last episode was going to be the last time. This is the last time. So everybody here is currently drinking on H2O. Don't ask us shit. Matter of fact, let's do a cheers to that.
High quality H2O.
It didn't sound like glasses going. We all are drinking out of plastic.
Tink, 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 tink.
Like we 3.
Yes. It's been an
Coley got a
interesting...
straw.
Interesting and dry 2020. Well, it's not fully dry for me. I did as an update to people out there from the last time. I have chosen to.
You figured it out.
Yes, I've chosen to indulge in beverages if I'm with people. So no, like social drinking, but not during the week. So it's a weekend, but only if I'm around other people doing something. So
if you walk outside and somebody walks by, you know what? Fuck it. You drinking today, sir? Come on.
No
I'm
strangers.
drinking. You're buying.
Because COVID. No, not strangers. If I'm hanging out with friends and that's what they happen to be doing, then I will also if it is a weekend. But if it is not, or if I'm not doing anything particularly special.
So if you drop someone on the floor and Rizzo licked it up, does that count as you drink with a friend?
No. It's no. No. I thought about putting markers on my bottles as a challenge.
Markers on your bottles? What do you mean?
To show the levels, I'm assuming.
Oh, like putting dates and times on there?
Or just a marker. Like if I put it on, like, you know, I say I marked all my bottles on January 14th.
Like if you were to take a piece of tape and say, this is the level that my liquor was at, so therefore if it goes below that, you can see that it was drank. It was drunk.
Gotcha.
You know?
It was partook.
Thought about that, but I'm like, that seems like a...
Who would you be doing that for? Because nobody lives here, so I imagine...
It's more of a challenge for me.
Okay.
Just, you know, to see if I stick to what I said.
What if you, like, wake up in the middle of the night, drink it all, and then you already have, like, another bottle, and you replace it, and you right on there?
I don't have any more bottles.
Okay.
I know typically I have things waiting in the wings, but I have no more bottles.
The way she would probably write whatever she wrote on there after she drank the whole bottle... would be comedic.
No, I drank a whole bottle of alcohol on New Year's Eve, and I woke up New Year's Day feeling like something had taken it from me. I was missing things.
What did you drink?
Tequila.
Oh.
Yeah, well, Lord.
You asked for it.
Be with her.
Yes, I thought I was somebody else.
Not things have been taken.
You are someone else.
Things have been taken. Where are my shoes?
And Esquire didn't stop me. So what kind of friend are you?
What kind of friend would he be to stop you in your own home?
And at the same time, everybody went into 2021 different. So some people walked in, some people got dragged in, some people were missing things already in the door.
Some people stormed themselves into 2021, you know?
God.
All over the place.
Well, since we're all dry and speaking of 2021, what have y'all been listening to?
Well, we all kind of had a collective one, which I'll let y'all get to in a second. But I rock with Mac Ayer's new joint.
Is it an EP?
It's an album.
Magic 8 Ball.
Yes.
Bro, I ain't seen nothing about it. I'm telling you.
I just heard about it today, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
I heard about it on a different podcast, and I was like, wait, what?
Yes.
And then I turned it on. I was just like, this is groovy. I like, because he's a very groovy kind of person, you know.
It even sounds more groovy than the last one, and the last one was super groovy. So yes.
Twas.
Is there range to his grooviness now? Because his last album was like he was in between two lines, and he just grooved in between those two lines.
I would say that he's still in between two lines, but the lines are a little bit further apart.
Gotcha. Okay.
But he doesn't. He sticks into a pocket that he's comfortable with, and I think that's respectful.
Okay.
I heard someone talking. They said that he's apparently not on any label. He doesn't have management. It's just him and his family.
You know what?
Making music. So,
His family plays behind him?
I don't know if they're like, helping him with whatever they're doing or whatever. So
Okay.
I don't know if he has like a drummer that's his cousin or some shit. His mom was on a tambourine or something,
Yeah.
the wildness.
She making lunches for them when they out on the road.
Not that like the Partridge Family.
Is that a Lunchable?
Little RV.
Yeah, Mom. Can you give me one with the
Mom.
Reese's? You know what? That's all fucking Lunchables were, was like a ghetto charcuterie.
Yes.
Yes.
I never thought about that.
Yeah, man.
Just a
That's all.
little bit of something.
Damn, but they ain't had no fruit in it though. No grapes.
You really thought you were eating pizza from that little frozen little dough. Sometimes it would just be a Ritz cracker and you had to put shit on there and they called it a pizza.
The only one I was able to eat was the little turkey ones.
Yes.
Because I didn't eat the pork.
That's
so
true.
like the little pepperoni pizza joints, people used to be smashed. I'd be sitting beside them mad, just like got this measly ass turkey.
The turkey ones are good, though. A little cheese and a little cracker. That was
They
it.
were, but when you come from a position where you feel like you're being deprived, it's just different.
Everybody spreading like a little Italian sauce on their
Hell
shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
Until I went to my nigga's house, I used to go over there and lose my mind. His mom like, I thought you didn't eat pork. I'd be like, ma'am. Ma'am.
Outside of these doors, I don't.
please.
Mind your business and don't you say nothing to my mama.
I'll kill you.
I look him dead in his face. He look me in my face. I'm like, you know what it is? Bet. What y'all having today?
God.
Scallops? Please. I'll take 7.
That's
Wow.
funny. No, Mac Ayers, I co-signed. That would have been mine if Esquire and I had not agreed to double up on our joint one. So
And all 8 are good. So just
Yes.
there's no one in particular I want to call out. I'm pretty sure when we do a playlist later, I'll pick a couple. But for people out there, it's 8 songs.
does
you can listen
that
to all 8
one
of them.
song not sound something? Sometimes it sounds familiar.
It sounds like his last album.
It sounds like a song that I know already, but I don't know. Like it sounds like something I'd heard. And sometimes I just wish you'd call. I was like, that sounds very familiar.
You might have wrote it.
You know what?
He got into your journal. He got into your fucking journal.
He drank the bottle.
Right. He replaced it.
That's where I went. I took my journal somewhere. He got it from me.
Along with the other hotels. In that journal.
All of them.
Right.
In that journal.
Mine, ours collectively, but specifically mine and Esquire's, is Jasmine Sullivan, Hotels. Jasmine, if you're out there, I've been trolling you, and I'm unapologetically trolling you. I want you to know how much I love this album. I loved you anyway. If you don't, or if you're not a fan of Jasmine Sullivan, you're missing out. This is a great album to get in touch with it.
I will say, when I listened to it, I almost felt like I wasn't supposed to be listening to it. Like it was some kind of like open secret, but at this point you're exposing the secret.
It's
and I'm
like you were reading a
what?
girl's group chat.
Right. And I'm like, I'm actually enjoying this shit. Like there should be no reason for me to be sitting here egging y'all on for sit on it. Like I just
With a bottle of lotion beside you.
exactly.
All right, could you just slow down a little bit?
Like, please.
That shit's so good. It is so very good. I will say my standout track always will be Lost Ones. That's my favorite. But after that, it's a toss up between Girl Like Me featuring our favorite, her, or On It, because it's so masterfully done. It's
So-
nasty in all the right ways, and those harmonies are flawless.
I did not. Okay, so shameless plug here, or just secret.
Okay.
I didn't know that she had an album coming out or EP or whatever. Jasmine Sullivan.
Okay.
So whenever my friend sent it to me, and he was like, Ari and Jasmine acting real grown on this here morning. And so I was like, what are you talking about? So I didn't read the lyrics. I didn't look at like the name of it. I just clicked it. I also didn't read the title of the album. Mm-hmm. So when I heard it, I was like, I wonder how this could be placed. Start over. Because I'm just like, yeah, this song is really disgusting. Starts over.
Right. Right.
Let me oh shit. Just put it on repeat. And then I went to the album and I was like, oh, this shit's called Hotels. I said, oh, the whole album like this.
Yes.
I was like, let me stretch.
Yes. Yes.
That's a standout track. That fucking one with Anderson .Paak on there. That was a standout one. The fucking I like The Other Side.
I do. I like the little beat it's got to it. It's fun.
Yeah, it's a good shit. And everybody's giving her props for bringing back the little interludes with the tails and everything.
Yes.
Like these shits are crazy.
That one where it was clearly like a old lady gathering. Yeah.
Yes.
I said, you do it to your husband so you get what you want, right? You gonna do it.
What you mean, daddy? That was good. Did you watch The Tiny Desk, guys?
I did not. I heard it was phenomenal.
Oh, friend. Oh, you're going to stay an extra 19 minutes and 56 seconds.
I can't. I'll watch on the way home.
It is so good. It's so very good. Shout out to you, Jess.
It was great. But,
it's amazing.
So, okay, let me just be honest here.
Oh, shit. I hope
shit.
you haven't been lying to us.
Oh, shit.
Just a little bit.
Is this an exclusive? A round table exclusive?
Round table exclusive. Dum, 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 dum.
Breaking news.
So, I'm struggling with, not in a bad way, but the new her, like the grown up her, is different for me. I don't have a problem with it, but it's just kind of like I think because she's been like a kid, like a baby in my mind for so long. Even from when I first saw her on Maury, when she was like 8. And then further up, whenever she was on the BET thing that you told me about, and then like whenever she started, and she was like really, really young, but like killing it and like, being real like in the shadows. And now she's like, oh no, nigga, I'm a woman and I am disgusting. I'm like, so I while I like this, it's just like you were like this young girl to me before. And I guess I feel like an old nasty nigga like watching this young person develop into that. But it's like, yeah, you can. It's but just as an old man, like I because the girls nowadays are doing a lot of different things are young in comparison to me. Like I remember being 18 and seeing 18-year-old women, but like now you see chicks and it's like, oh, they're like clearly like in their mid-20s. And I'm like, oh, just turned 18 yesterday, and it's like, this is fucking strange. Because I am 75 years old.
Right.
So it's different. I don't have a problem with it, but it is something that I realized that when I hear it say certain things, I'm like, oh, damn, her. Like when she was on that album with the track with Dram and she's talking about going up to her bed, I was like, I guess you probably do be fucking. I mean, I was fucking, before I was your age. So
why is she your little sister right now?
I don't know.
What is happening right now?
I have absolutely no idea.
Accepting her coming into her womanhood at this point. I mean, I can't stop her.
She gonna do what she gotta do.
So ain't no problem with it. But I just realized that I didn't realize that she was kind of like you said, like a little sister to me. Like that was just out here just blowing the world away. And because that's just kind of the box I had her in. Like, you talented as fuck, but like,
box her in.
I can't now. Because she pulled them titties out. I was like,
she got a song
shit.
about out here with Jasmine trying to figure out if she need to be a bad girl or a good girl because the bad girls out here winning.
Hey, a hoe I'll be. That's what she wanted.
And so I'm like, all right, bitch, go ahead.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Bruh, that was heartfelt. And I felt like we needed more of that to send to her. To my one fan out there, Naji, I'm sorry. I'm getting older. You gotta accept me.
And I'll respond to her. I accept you for who you are. I'm just recognizing that I didn't know that I would have to like deal with it, or they would
not you have to deal.
Not even deal with it.
What is going on right now?
That sounds very different than what I want it to be. Because like, I didn't realize that I was going to have any kind of like feeling about this.
I need you to talk to Mrs. Naji about this.
I don't really know what's going on.
Some time.
It's weird.
You need to talk to her about this.
Because I realized this, like, okay, so a lot of the other female artists that you've known since they were really, really young, I was young when they were young. So like Brandy was young, Monica was young, but so was I. So therefore they kind of grew with me.
Cheetah Girls, all them were just
I don't even know who those niggas are.
Thrown out there.
But it's like now when I think about it, like liking a particular artist that's so young, like they're gonna grow up and things about them are gonna change. I imagine that's how like older women felt maybe whenever they like maybe not. When they liked Usher, where Usher was like really, really young, or Chris Brown, and then he went from like the little run it kid to like
whooping somebody's ass.
Well, I was gonna say grinding on stage.
Okay, got you.
That too.
What?
And I just realized that she's probably the first artist that I've ever followed from a young age when I wasn't young as well. And I realized that it's different. Like they're gonna start talking about different shit than they did beforehand. So again, I don't have a problem with it, but I just didn't realize that I was going to have to I would feel anything about this. I didn't know what was happening.
Well, wow. Well, thankfully, you're not keeping those feelings bottled up. And they're not behind a gate. I'd imagine if they were, we have a group of terrorists who can get through it and help you.
They'll be ushered through.
Ushered through, and they can help you come to terms with what's going on.
Right this way, sir.
Oh, you know what? Let's just take a pause for people who really love us.
Let's talk about the business folk first,
and give it to the business people, and we'll figure the rest of this out later.
Because these niggas was wilding.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? As you may have noticed, our podcast has an amazing cover art. This is all thanks to my brother and number one creative friend, Jay Ballard. Jay is a creative graphic design artist who has created countless logos, apparel, website design for companies, entertainers, and now podcasts. But don't take my word for it. Check out his website. He can be found at jthecreator.com. That's jthecreator.com. And if you like what you see, hit him up at jthecreator.com. Thanks, Jay.
Breaking news: mayhem at the fucking Capitol.
Mayhem is a good way to put it.
Mayhem at the stop the steal, stop the count,
Stop the fucking count.
Stop the madness.
stop it, just stop it.
We're storming the Capitol.
We're gonna walk to the Capitol, and I'm gonna be with you.
It's a revolution.
And we're going.
My name is Elizabeth. I'm from Knoxville, Tennessee.
I cannot.
He
Ladies
maced
and gentlemen,
me. The police officer? A man maced me.
What are you here for? I'm here to kill Mike Pence. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to this shit right here. Or in this case, the shit that we're still fucking dealing with.
The shit right here, the shit right there, back then.
The shit everywhere.
If you guys noticed already from one of our early episodes, we had a episode that was titled Stop the Fucking Count. And where we talked about the whole week long that Donald Trump was into some shit and we were just watching it. Mm-hmm. I don't know if he's outdone himself this time.
Oh, yeah. Sierra said it best. Level up.
But he's had a little help from his friends in low places. God damn it.
Oh, yes.
And even high places.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's 2021 and I never thought that I would live to see a president impeached twice. Mm-hmm. But I also never thought I would live to see a full-on assault on our governmental building.
And a righteous assault. Okay, like these motherfuckers.
In the name of patriotism.
Unapologetic. Just.
I imagine we got like a small sampling of what the Civil War was like.
Yeah.
So.
Which was over slavery.
Oh, yes. And this one was over what? Black people voting? I don't know. The
parallels are endless. The Confederate showed its face again.
So for the people that have not been paying attention or watching what happened last week on January 6th.
Living under a fucking rock.
We're going to set the scene for you. January 6th, our good Congress was supposed to come together for a real boring day and just certify the votes for Donald Trump and Joe Biden.
Joe Biden.
And call the election. For as it was the last stop along the way to certify these results.
And let me know that it was for the legal election.
Legal election.
The
Legally
rightfully
cast votes.
won election of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris.
Joe Biden.
As said by the Supreme Court of the United States.
As said by the Supreme Court and 59 other courts across the very great United States.
The very far right Supreme Court of the United States.
They didn't even want to hear it. They were like, "Stop wasting our time. We trying to leave early. Like
it's the holiday weekend.
Like, we got stuff to do."
Amy gets on our nerves. She's always bringing egg salad. We don't want to deal with that.
This is not it. Do not bring that case here. It's not it.
She puts raisins in her egg salad.
So they're supposed to be meeting to do this. Donald Trump decides that he wants to help throw a rally or attend a rally, the Stop the Steal rally. Incitement rally, this crazy ass rally that is building up while these people are meeting. Donald Trump gets out there, he fires the crowd up, him, his sons, and lawmakers. I think there was a call for trial by combat at some point.
Rudy Giuliani said trial for combat. And I was like, wait. And I was still watching Game of Thrones at the time. Like I just finished rewatching it. And I was like, wait a minute.
Exactly. So you knew
It wasn't too much of a dog whistle for you.
Who? What is happening?
If he would have pulled out a white glove and smacked somebody with it, I challenge you to a duel.
At this point, they weren't trying to do white gloves. I think there was like crossbows and
There
zip
were.
ties
There
and
were.
everything else out
Joffrey was about to come out the bag.
there. It was really crazy out there watching that speech. So then what happens? Donald Trump has his MAGAites, his terrorists. Oh, excuse me. They start off as Trump supporters.
They did.
And when they breached the Capitol, they became terrorists and seditionists. So that goes on. I don't know where everybody was, but it was like 6 hours of mayhem.
Well, also let's not forget the main point. He said, "I'm going to go with you,"
He did
Yes.
say, I'm
and
going
he
with
went
you.
home.
Right. And they weren't asking any questions when they saw the car going the other way.
He took that mean left down Pennsylvania.
He did U-turn. He didn't even do a U-turn here. He just did it.
Ooh, shit.
What?
And they said not only did he go home, but his sons and them got on a plane and went back to Florida
Got the
Yes.
fuck up out of Dodge.
after they
Yes.
did this.
Yes.
And also another thing, an important point of this. Not only was the Congress inside, but Mike Pence was in there too.
Yes.
He was in there
His
too.
second in command.
He was in there.
Yes.
That he said doesn't have a backbone because he's tired of him.
Because he had been talking trash about him all on social media and then saying, hopefully he'll do the right thing.
Well, wait, do we skip over or do we need to address the fact that this came after him trying to get the Georgia Secretary of State to find more votes?
You know what?
That's important,
That
too.
is important.
He asked for one more vote
Right.
than they needed. Like
This is the last.
he said, "I'm not asking for a lot. I come to
Just
you
give
with
me
my
one
bare
more than what I
necessities.
need, please.
11,780. That's all I ask."
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, before we got to January 6th, Donald Trump had another scheme that fucking felt. I'm starting to think that he is like reading out of that book, like that Acme Productions book, like where Wile E. Coyote was getting stuff from that wasn't working. Who is
Bro.
coming up with these fucking plans for him?
Oh,
I don't know.
Yes, Donald Trump called down to intimidate and beg and whatever the Georgia Secretary of State.
And notice how that man wasn't saying anything because he was like, "This is not it." He's like, "I'm not going to be heard on this recording at all."
I
That's
bet
not
you
how this works.
When he
No.
when they came in, the president's gonna be coming in just 1 second. Hey Bob, get the tape recorder. Thank you so much. We're gonna need
Get
it.
to.
Get
Get to. I want you to record the
Are you
recording.
tracing this call? Do I need to use another phone?
Thank you.
I don't want
We're
any
gonna
problems.
need it. We're
Let
gonna
me
need it.
wait. How long do I have to stay on before you can trace it? How long? 30
Is that, enough,
seconds?
is that enough time?
Tell them to call in 45. All right, cool.
Excellent.
So shout out to the Secretary of State's office down there for standing up to Donald Trump. So fast forward back to this day, the terrorists have breached the Capitol. Lots of mayhem. People are running. People are getting. Lawmakers are being put inside of secret rooms and everything, and you just see a whole bunch of bullshit.
But before they breached, there were barriers around the Capitol.
There were
right?
barriers.
Yes.
Barriers that were moved by law officials. There are multiple videos where you see the insurgents on the way, and you see the law people move the barricades and allow them to just come on in.
They must be in the ones that are suspended currently, but yes.
There were a
Potentially.
couple of instances where some of the barriers were moved, some of the doors were opened,
Yeah.
and then there was some struggles on some
were.
other
There were.
side.
There were.
But it was a lot more allowing in than it was a fight based on what we saw so far.
Twas they broke glass. They broke windows. They climbed through windows.
I was, you mentioned you didn't know where we were. For me, I have to say this because I was sitting there having like a week-long thing with my job. This entry to 2021, we're all hype and excited, whatever. But I knew the vote was happening, or the counting or the certifying was happening. So I wanted to like watch that. So I had it up, like playing in the background. 'Cause I just wanted to, just see what was happening with that. Like, that's fun. Like, get this shit over with. Exciting. And then all of a sudden, like in the corner of the screen, because they still had the outside, people were outside of the Capitol already. And in the corner of the screen, you see like mayhem happening. You're like, what? Well, what's? And whoever was talking, Anderson, Jake, whoever, I'm like, Anderson, Jake, tell us what's going on now because something crazy is happening in the corner of my screen. And all of a sudden, it's like, 1 second, ladies and gentlemen, we're hearing some. What? Oh, they're storming the Capitol. It's a revolution.
Right.
And I'm like watching that, and I'm like, this is what is happening right now? So myself, my coworkers were messaging each other like, are you seeing this? I'm like, yes, bitch, what the fuck is going on with this? What is happening?
So, sorry. They've now breached the Capitol.
They've breached
They're
the Capitol.
inside.
Yes, they are inside. It's mayhem. There is no help. It seems like it's
None.
going on forever and ever and ever until finally help does arrive. You know, I likened it to the Capitol being breached as they always use that scene from Endgame where Captain America had
Yes.
the cavalry arrive.
Yes.
There was no cavalry
On your left.
for the
Yes.
police
No.
up there.
There was that one black guard who
Yes.
was about to get a medal.
Yes.
He was one of the ones that showed an act of bravery. But when they finally did get everything done after this whole incident, we come to find out 5 people have died in certain circumstances. One of them was a terrorist. One was the rest of them were cops, weren't they?
Yes.
That had died. Right. So Donald Trump has been impeached again. There were talks of the 25th Amendment, arrests being made. Now, how do y'all feel about all of that?
I think we should just. I have a lot of feelings. I have a lot of feelings in a lot of different places. My overall feeling, as someone who is a general law-abiding citizen, is what the fuck. Because as I said, as I was watching, and it's like, this is not supposed to be able to happen. I mean, I don't know if y'all have been to the Capitol like on a school trip or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can get in there, you can go. Like, then they've got detectors and whatever, but like, you can't like bum rush in there. You're not supposed to be able to do that. Like, that DC in general is the kind of place where anything suspicious is usually swatted down by somebody.
Yeah.
Because that's not the place to be acting crazy.
No.
Like, the president's down the street, don't act up around these parts.
Yeah.
So when I'm sitting here watching all this activity, I'm like, what in the hell is happening? So in my head, I'm just confused. I'm confused.
All that whacktivity.
All that activity.
White activity.
I'm just like, how does this happen? As someone who understands the law and understands how things work, I am confused. I'm befuddled by this, flabbergasted.
Naji, where were you at?
I was at my house, and I didn't see the beginning part of it. All of a sudden, I saw a notification on my phone, and I was like, wait, what? He said something about somebody storming the Capitol, and I was like, this is clearly a hoax. They're just, trying to
Because who would do
It's
that?
I said, this
Pulling my
is
leg.
clickbait. They're just trying to get me to
Yes.
click on it. And then I got an Apple News alert that these motherfuckers were legitimately storming the Capitol. And I was, it was comedic because it just didn't make sense. And so I'm thinking, okay, well, they're about to storm the Capitol. So clearly there's like armed people everywhere. They're about to get mowed down. But then the other thought hit me. I was like, oh no, they're white. Oh, they'll be fine. They'll be fine.
I was actually doing like a virtual conference, and one of the people that was on my phone, that was on the conference, and it was a teleconference, so we could see him. He kept looking down at his phone, and his phone kept going clean off, like how you were getting notifications. He was like, "Sorry, guys, it's my family." He was like, "That's my daughter." What is going on? Wait, what is happening? So he was like, I'm gonna go on mute here real quick, guys, and he just make sure everything's okay. So we're watching, we're still trying to continue on. And he comes back in, he was like, hey, can we take like a 15-minute break? Can you guys look at the news really fast? Exactly. And so they were like, all right, guys, we'll leave the line open. We're just gonna go on mute. Just stretch your legs, use the bathroom. And when I turned on CNN, and I just see, and at this point I didn't see the beginning, but they were flooding in and trying to get in there. I didn't start off with comedy. I felt sick. I legitimately was like, again, I feel like I've said this again or before. That kind of stuff is not supposed to happen here. Like, it made me feel like we were a joke in that moment. And then it didn't get any better because it kept going. There was no help coming. There was none. You just saw people destroying the Capitol, breaking windows, and looked like they were having the time of their fucking
So much
life.
fun. They were pissing on the walls,
smearing shit.
I was just like, what is happening here? And then when you speak about the help coming, I was listening to an interview with the governor of Maryland, who was called by the
Governor Hogan.
Governor Hogan. So he was called by the Senate minority person or the House minority. the Democrats minority person, called him on the phone and was like, hey, can you send some help? Like, we've been out here. We don't know what's happening. We hear a lot of chaos, but we don't know what's happening. Can you do something? Because you've got the National Guard or whatever. Can you do that? And he was like, I guess, but like, you can't give me that order. So then he calls and he can't get the Secretary of Defense on the phone, whoever that person is, can't get him on the phone. And he said it took him 1.5 hours to 2 hours for them to verify that he could send out the National Guard, because they kept saying the National Guard was coming. But I'm like, where are they coming from?
Police.
Africa?
And police. And
Like,
police from there, too.
So then to watch that interview with him, I'm like, oh, that makes more sense now, because he was not given an okay, because apparently he has to be told by the federal government to release the National Guard. I didn't know that. And he finally got the direction to go, but it was 2 hours later. Like, and then he has to assemble them. You can't just be like, hey, guys, we're ready. You have to assemble all these regular working people, the National Guard. They're not just soldiers.
Yeah. I laughed out of fear because it didn't make sense. And
Like, oh, God.
it was a nervous laugh.
Yeah.
But it was a laugh because
Yeah.
I'm like, this can't be fucking happening. Like, I'm looking at my kid and I'm like, hey, man, like, you're going to have some shit to learn about in school when you get older. The year you were born, there was some shit going on. The year right after, this shit continued. And I'm just like, you know what? So my initial reaction was a nervous laugh. In silence.
And laugh in silence. And just to, I don't know, it looked terrible on TV. And then it got to one point where they called a congressman, called in on the inside, like a Republican congressman, and he was just like, Mr. President, like, make this stop. Like, just make this stop. And I'm sitting here thinking, wait, isn't it what y'all wanted? Like, isn't this what y'all have been teeing everything up to be? Like, what are you talking about? It's not funny anymore. Make it stop. Like, he was literally frantic.
Because now your life is in danger. Like, people have been saying for the longest, this man is out here doing shit. It's dangerous. You're like, it's not fucking dangerous. Because it wasn't at their doorstep. And so same way, like, COVID's not real, but then someone they love dies from COVID. Now all of a sudden it's like, oh, COVID is a very serious matter to take into consideration here. It's like, yeah, these niggas is literally at your job. They showed up. They didn't come to play. Like, you know, sometimes, you know, people may, you know, fuck around, threaten you. You get death threats or whatever. I'm sure you get them shits all the time. These niggas showed up at your job with beef ready to go at it.
With zip ties and guns and bats and flags and made up gallows to hang Mike Pence.
That was absurd. A fucking gallows they brought. Who put that on their truck?
Like, they clearly,
You knew it was a truck. You know it was a pickup
And
truck.
my question is, how did it get through? Like, they didn't flag that? Like, I'm sorry.
It looked like it needed to be assembled.
There's a
it looked like it needed to be assembled.
Somebody's bringing the fucking guillotine into DC.
After it goes into the air, that's when somebody needs to be like, this is not right here. Get the fucking
I like
National
to think
Guard.
whoever was in charge of reporting that kind of thing was black, and as soon as he saw it, he was like, "Oh hell no!"
It went right on to Alexandria.
Right,
He
Mike,
better
I'm
get the fuck
outta here.
taking my 15, Mike. I'm taking my 15.
15 weeks. Yeah. I'm
Is
about
that
to go on
a
leave.
news? Get the fuck out!
Takes off headphones.
And the same way we joking about it, the same way Black Twitter had a fucking
Black Twitter got me through it.
day.
So wait. One of my favorite parts from the day was watching people try to you know, avoid the barricades by climbing the fucking wall.
Oh my God, that one.
Like, bro, this is not what you do regularly. What do you go rock climbing? What are you
To
doing?
watch the people reaching for that last piece, that last rail, and then just fall from the top.
Bro, it was
some
like-
of the greatest television.
What emboldens a person? Like, when you're climbing, you are now climbing the walls of a federal building.
They were scaling the walls of the Capitol.
It was some Legend of Hidden Temple type shit. Like,
Bro,
for real,
I was waiting for
real.
those little Mayans to come out, like,
Yes.
grab somebody and pull them because they ain't had no tokens.
No, the Mayans was putting oil on the fucking when old girl went to falling.
Those images are burned in our brains. I'm pretty certain. Like, I can see, like, when Najee said that, I can see those men climbing on the wall, and I'm like, You're not supposed to.
Somebody said that was the most meth behavior I've ever seen.
It was something, but they had been saying that these people had been training and all this kind of stuff for this. Like they had rope and everything else. I was like, oh, this is a full blown invasion.
It is
right now. Like,
yes. So whether 45 intended to do it or not, which I'm willing to say he is, but whether or not that was a part of his plan, they already had a plan whether he said anything or not. They were prepared to do what they did. He just made them even more fired up about it.
Well, you sound like you are completely blaming Donald Trump for this.
Oh yes.
It sounds like you laying it at his feet.
Before the blame, I'll be remiss if I do not give a full shout out to Black Twitter.
Yes,
for just the niggas will make a joke out of anything.
We shall. We shall.
And I mean, there are some times I'm like, oh my God, like they doing the most. But when I tell you this was pure comedy,
because it was spot on,
and it didn't miss a beat. Like from the moment it started, it was just like oh God. It was some of the greatest moments of Twitter history.
Yes, all you original people out there, y'all did it. You did it for us. We, of course, out there in Pod World, we are upset and angered by it, but at the same time, you got to laugh to keep from being, as Naji said, nervous and afraid, because that shit, you know.
Well, I thought the season finale of this show that Donald Trump is producing and got us all in.
The season finale of America looked like.
I thought it ended with maybe the Supreme Court or him losing the election. Clearly, they came back
for
a reunion special.
Where's Andy Cohen? What is this?
And they had a little more storyline left to give us. This is crazy. Okay, well, Naji, you blame Donald Trump as well?
I do. I definitely blame him. He did everything in his power for the last 4 years to brew this bullshit.
That is brew.
And then he got to the very end, and then illogically, like completely illogically, just started saying stuff. And to just show you how he has followers. He doesn't have supporters. He has followers, like literally a cult follow. There's going to be a documentary on the Donald Trump cult very soon. Got to be. And I'm sure Mrs. Naji is going to be tuned the fuck in to watch it. But nonetheless, he has been inciting bullshit for... He ran his campaign on just fuck shit. And here he is at the end of his days. It's like,
fuck shit.
Let's go out the way we came in.
Well, Naji, he did say, he was on the news the other day, he said, look, people have examined that speech that he gave.
Lies.
All the way through.
He lies.
Everybody that he's heard on television, people on the radio, people on podcasts have said that he's given a perfectly good speech and that was not inciting anything. So he has no responsibility.
I really would love for him to quote who said these things.
It's always a they.
It's
or
always
people have
a they.
told him.
And I'm like, who?
People everywhere. Everybody knows.
Who, Donald?
Shout out to the woman, the clip that I showed y'all, who as soon as he began spitting that shit, she said, cut away, we're not doing that.
We're going to come out of that.
We're coming out of that.
She said the president's doing it again where he veers away from the truth.
He does that frequently.
I was like, wow, okay.
Naji said something about the cult, the Trumpism, and they were talking about like authoritarian
the Trumpeteers.
Shit. The Trumpeteers, the Trumpelstiltskins, whoever.
I like Trumpelstiltskins.
But what they were liking it to him trying to be authoritarian, which I was like, how is he able to do this? But it's really, it's really quite simple. He wanted to be like a modern day Hitler. Like you, and it's easy because you start with facts, you attack them, you attack democracy like right in the middle with the facts. Like their election, what? It's going to be fraud from the beginning. The Democrats are going to kill it. It's going to be awful. Don't listen to anything they say.
Unless he wins.
Unless I win. You attack the facts, that confuses the people. Then you lie about whatever you want yourself. Like just lie. Claim the lies are the truth is the lie. Confuse everybody. And then at the end, nobody knows what the truth is. And then they're searching for truth. And then you get to create your own truth. And that is what he did. And he did it masterfully. You have to give him that because like people, the way he was able to get these people is quite unbelievable.
I slightly disagree.
Oh, shit,
the people that he got,
all 74 million of them.
I can't even give him the credit to say that they got confused. That he masterfully manipulated his way into their shit. No. He spoke to the bullshit in your heart.
Yeah.
And that was what you were able to say, oh, I am willing to turn it on now. And by all means, I'm willing to die for my bullshit. That's to me what it said. But I'm not even, I can't give him the credit to say that he was some mastermind in all of this bullshit. No, he found the people that believed. He ran on the campaign for the bullshit that people weren't able to say. And he knows that people have been hiding behind this bullshit for years and years and years and years, centuries, if you will. And now they were able to bring it to the forefront and run with it.
Well, I do agree with that because that's why they stormed the Capitol, because they have now, they're going to be pushed back into the shadows. And that bothers them, that they can't be out in the front with it. Well, they can do what you want, but it's not going to be as tolerated because the people in power are no longer in power.
And they
completely.
in power everywhere.
Well, the people in power have just impeached Donald Trump one more time. I don't know if y'all had a chance to look at those debates when they were debating it on the floor, but there's still a lot of Republicans out there who are carrying his water and his coats.
Was it 190 something? I saw the number earlier today.
197, I want to say.
But it took 10 brave Republicans to vote for impeachment. And shout out to Mike Pence. You know, if Donald Trump would have set me up in a building and set it on fire, if I had made it out, I don't think I would be just sitting here being like, well, you know, he's sorry now, so he's got 10 days. No, I would chase that nigga to the ends of the earth.
You saw how Mike Pence ran. You know he wasn't going to put up with that bullshit.
Donald Trump literally told him to go inside real quick, and I need to get something from the car.
And lock the door.
Lock the fucking door. And set it on fire.
For all of our Game of Thrones fans, Donald Trump is Cersei in the episode where she burned the septum to the ground.
That's exactly that.
And
is
he kept
a very
Melania
good
out.
one.
He kept all his people out.
He wanted it to be the Red Wedding. That's what he wanted it to be.
And the reports were that he enjoyed watching what he was watching.
Oh God, yes.
They said the word bliss was used by people in the White House. And I'm like, bliss? What?
And the bad part about it is it wasn't just Mike Pence that was in there. It was Mike Pence's family that was in there too.
He didn't care.
Clearly he didn't. But I'm talking about for Mike Pence to say he's not going to invoke the 25th Amendment. I would have rounded those motherfuckers up as soon as I got back. I need all my cabinet members to get together. We voting him out.
So invoking it. So side question: invoking the 25th Amendment versus him being impeached. Do they have different end results?
Yes.
Yes,
Because no impeachment, you can't do shit
25th
else.
Amendment is Martin kicking Pam out. That is what the 25th Amendment is.
And impeachment is not only will he not be president anymore, if they vote to also convict him and also take away his right to run for office again, that moves, he won't be able to run again. That also takes away his presidential pension for being a retired president. And he would lose a lot of other benefits that are government funded to him, like being able to start an office, get staff and all the other stuff, and also public shaming. So I needed everything to be thrown at that motherfucker.
Yes.
Every fucking thing.
It's necessary. We have to show what is it? The guy, what's his name? Not Chuck. Or maybe it was Chuck. He might have been Chuck Schumer, but it might have been the House. No, it wasn't. It was the House minority guy. He said, it's not about precedent, it's about principle. Like, we don't care if there's no precedent for doing something like this. We can't let this be the precedent. Like, we can't let this happen and then we just go on about our business like it didn't have, like, that doesn't work. The principle is you cannot actively incite this type of violence on the actual capital of the United States, and you're the president and you're the person in charge. You can't do that, and we have to show that you can't. And if we don't do anything, like if this stops in the Senate, they've made a grave mistake. You know, like, it can't stop there. It has to continue. We have to put it out, even if it is after the fact.
Ooh, so question.
Yes.
Yes, due to Georgia, Senate has been flipped.
Yes.
But when does that go into effect?
This next, like January 20th, they'll go into effect too.
So will that Senate be the one who will be trying the Trump?
It'll be a Democrat-led Senate.
Okay. All right, good.
So,
Yes.
Because I was sitting there like, if it's the Republican Senate, it's just not. It's gonna be like our stimulus check,
but
stuck.
they'll need 67 votes.
Yeah, they need what, 2/3?
Right.
But I think I think they have enough Republicans who are like, hell no with this. It's at this point.
Maybe.
And their leader has said that he will see what the Republicans say. Their
bitch?
evil leader, yes.
their leader.
I think he might, because he's like, fuck Trump at this point.
But I think that people are like, fuck Trump. But then there's also this alliance to your party that is people are literally going down with the ship. which I think is the dumbest thing ever. These fucking factions.
Well, he might not have as much pull anymore because he's banned from Twitter and a lot of these other social media places. So
It is quiet without him.
it's very quiet. It's
so
very
nice.
quiet, and you never realize how noisy it was until it got quiet.
Yes.
Which lends back to the earlier argument. I think that there was just as many people who felt emboldened to go ahead and come out and show their true colors, but I think there was also some people that actually fed into it because it was every day, all day, every day. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and if you are not, I don't want to say you're not an intelligent person, but if you were literally, that's all you were seeing and that's what you are absorbing, hell, I can believe he jihadied some people to join his cause. Because a lot of these people are not Republicans. They're just Trump support. They're Trump loyalist supporters.
And when you're on, shout out to my homegirl who's always reminding me of this, when you're on Facebook or the internet, you're friends with people who are like you. So if you're just a general, normal white person or whatever, or a black person who is uninformed and unfortunate, all you're going to see on your Facebook are the opinions of the people who are like you. So that is all you see. That's all they post. That's the only news that you watch. Versus someone who is, like us, who's like, oh, I heard this thing on the internet or whatever. Let me go check and see if that's correct. Like, I'm going to check. I'm not going to just take anything as fact. But some people do. And that's how we get here.
Well, because of Donald Trump's actions, the D.C. Attorney General's office is saying that he could possibly be charged with inciting violence. So that would be one more criminal legal trouble that he gets into.
But
You should.
Go ahead, sir.
No, it's okay. I'll save it. It's
What?
a double standard. I'll save it.
Oh, shit.
I'll save it for later because it's just so.
An unpopular opinion?
No, it's not unpopular. It makes me upset.
Oh. Well, say it, friend. Say it.
Just get
It's
it
your
out.
mic.
No, it's
say
just
that shit.
the idea of how these things are going, and it's like there's so much leeway for this motherfucker. Like people are just making so many excuses and whatever. And I'm just sitting there like, y'all gave Obama shit about his wife not wearing sleeves.
His tan suit.
Obama's
tan
fucking
suit.
That was fire. The nigga was fresh.
His feet up on the desk, I believe, was one picture.
And
he disrespects that office.
But meanwhile, y'all are telling this motherfucker he's not from the same person that became president later. Had this whole thing and running with he's not from here. Let's see your birth certificate, and just the disrespect that never ended. And no one wanted to talk about how disrespectful that was. It took this nigga Trump 4 years of fuck shit and literally inciting another civil war within the country for you to be like, oh man, he's not doing right.
For some of them to be like,
Not all of them.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
For some of them.
for 10 motherfuckers to be like, I can't take this no more. Y'all niggas is that stupid?
Your guy, you went after Obama, and your guy literally turned an army against you while you was at work. And you not can you imagine you working your regular job in your office, you typing on your computer, and somebody come running at the last minute, slam the door, talking about they in here, who's out there? I don't know who that would be compared to. Like if you were some other people on your job that you were cool with, your friends,
the White Walkers
storming into whatever.
Walkers indeed. There was some fucking walkers indeed.
Walkers in fucking D. But these walkers were very, very, very prepared.
They even had horns.
Yes.
They even had horns
And everything. And they were even cops and
firemen
and veterans and Olympic gold medalists.
Oh, I saw one video that I thought was hilarious because meanwhile they're the inside. This is the video where the lady got shot, but it's before she got shot. And they're trying to break through this wall, a glass wall of doors or whatever that's going towards some other part, and that part is actually guarded, so whatever. So there are cops, and they're macing people, and they're like, "You're really going to mace a veteran?" And I'm like,
wow.
Bro, you're not supposed to be here.
You don't belong here.
Wow.
And you're going to pull the macing a veteran card?
You're on the wrong side of this argument.
So,
you are saying that.
There was an interview with a couple who was in the room. He's one of the ones who actually helped pull that young lady out that died, that was shot in the neck. So they interviewed.
He was a terrorist too, both of them.
But they were in there. Now he was black, she was white, and they're interviewing them, talking about and my first thought was, where are they at that they are able to talk about this, number one. Why are they not detained? Why are we interviewing them? But anyway, he says, so the woman's interviewing, like, so what was going on? So yeah, we were in there. We got into Capitol. We were in there. And I'm just like, what? We got in and we're trying to get through the door. Like, they won't let us through the door. But we weren't being violent. We weren't doing anything. But mind you, on the other side, they're showing the video of people with the flagpoles trying to break down that glass on the other side. And the woman is looking like, okay. And we're trying to just do what we're trying to do. And like, we're trying to be violent. And then like, they see guns. So we try to start pulling people back and like, don't shoot us. But then like, people kept going. And then they just like shot her for no reason. I'm like, your key word was there. The people kept going. Mm-hmm. You tried to get through the glass of the building you weren't supposed to be in. Okay.
They showed one clip of like some guy and some girl, and I don't know, they had broken down the guillotine where they were going to hang Mike Pence, and somebody like just used one of the legs. They were literally using it as a battering ram to try and get through the damn doors. And I'm like, what in the whole fuck is going on? It was mayhem out there. Did y'all see the motherfuckers on the fucking little cart that slide up the wall when people were painting the window?
I didn't see the window washers.
Bro,
yes,
there was people on the window washing cart.
they was pulling themselves up.
I said, how did they?
Let me tell you something. Them folks came in there to wild the fuck out.
I can't wait till a Family Guy remakes this whole thing and Saturday Night Live.
What gets me is we're talking about this is not supposed to happen. How did this happen? And I'm just like, who's prepared? Like, where was the prep? Like, you knew there was a rally in the city today. You knew something important was happening today. And we're not getting enough answers as to what the fuck was going on in the days prior. Like, this does not make any sense to me. And all we're hearing is that people were saying, like, hey, maybe we should do this. Maybe we should do that. And the people in charge are like, it should be fine. It's not that big of a deal.
I want to pose a question to the both of you. Because I don't know if you ever heard of this terminology I want to use. So maybe that can help you understand what it is that you're confused about. Have you ever heard of white privilege? Like, I don't know if you've ever, like, there are times people make up, maybe they just throw words together. But,
yes.
in this instance, it was the epitome of...
Oh, hell yes.
Blanco privilege. I don't know how to say privilege in Spanish, but...
Well, and that white privilege is being tested right now because if you see all these people getting arrested now afterwards, still not a whole lot of people in the grand scheme of things that we'll talk about later. But the FBI slowly has been rounding people up. And have you seen people like getting arrested at airports?
Yes.
And all
they're
stuff?
Breaking down. It's great.
It's not good. It's not good.
The FBI.
They pulled me off the fucking plane. They're calling me a fucking terrorist. They're gonna ruin my life.
And nobody's stepping in to help.
Oh, you see his phones.
Right. We got another one.
Just, oh God. And like, what did you think was going to happen?
I saw one video of when someone got pulled off a plane and the guy's like, look at them. They're just over there not doing shit. Those police officers are just not doing shit. And this poor person's being pulled off a plane for just freedom of fucking speech.
For who you voted for?
And I'm sitting here like, weren't you just Blue Lives Matter a couple weeks ago? Like,
right. I saw one video where they had like some person was like they literally had her in like a pretzel and was carrying her ass up out of there.
That shit was great.
Yes,
that shit was great.
Get her.
They said they're going to be looking at maybe about hundreds more of arrests.
I hope
that's
so.
supposed to be happening. Guys, FBI needs your help. If you recognize some of these people, they're trying to identify somebody based on their Nikes that they were wearing.
I'm not mad. I don't give a fuck how you identify these motherfuckers.
Just get them.
Get them, okay? Get them all. I want our prison to be overrun with these motherfuckers, okay?
Yes.
I'll deal with that. I'll deal with that level of overrun prisons because of these motherfuckers in there, all right? Just get him. The nigga with the podium, get his ass.
We should be seeing
they got his ass.
They got his ass, and they got the podium back.
But he but he out on bail apparently. But whatever.
They need to be rounding these people up. We should literally be seeing an everyday stream of arraignments.
Herds.
Yes.
And they need to be terrorists. They need to always have terrorists right beside their fucking name, too.
Yep.
Yes.
But you were talking about double standards a little bit earlier. There's always been that whataboutism that's been floating around. And I think we've been saying a little bit of it, too. That couldn't have been a anthill full of black people running towards running towards the Capitol building.
No.
We would have never lived to tell about it.
No.
Like, that would not have been it. And that's what's so maddening to me. And the whataboutisms, that whole thing. And I will try not to like go off on a fucking tangent, but like that's what gets me about this. And people like, oh, it's you know, and it's one of the representatives said it during the vote last night. They actually said it out of his mouth. Well, you know, just like the protests in Portland, and all of a sudden, like, sir, let me stop you right there, because black people would have never done this. Number one,
Right.
No.
we wouldn't
Right.
have done it, and if we did, on the off chance that we did, we would have never made it past none of y'all. Because as soon as any of y'all see us coming anywhere near your shit, you posted up ready to kill us.
Right.
Like, this would not have happened, and I wish a motherfucker would tell me that that's not the case. You would not have let that many black people, one, gather without a plan, or two, get past anybody. Like, that would not have happened at all.
No, it wouldn't have. And as a matter of fact, they were whenever I hear those comparisons, I forget what I was watching, but Buddy was on there talking about, you know, it's just like Portland, it's just like all those summer riots and all this kind of stuff, yada yada. And they were like, well, those people were marching, and yeah, there was some riots and looting that was happening, but most of that was based around criminal justice, unfair killings by cops on people of color and whatnot.
Valid.
This was just based on a lie. That girl that died, she died for nothing.
She
For
did.
nothing.
For absolutely nothing. Like, she wasn't being an American hero. She wasn't standing up for something that was going to change. It was a lie, and it was nothing that she died for.
Like, these people, we marched. I was out there back in the summertime. I went out there and marched because I watched George Floyd call out for his mama and die while a white dude stood on his fucking neck.
Because of a counterfeit $20 bill.
Because of a counterfeit $20 bill. Because of something that's and assumed, like they at the time,
touche.
they thought that's what it was. They found out later, sure, but that's what they thought at the time, and that's what we were marching for. Him and all the countless others before, and that will come after. That is what we marched for. Actual murder that we watched live on TV. You marched on the fucking Capitol because you were tired of black people or brown people, people of color, coming in and, quote unquote, taking your things from you, trying to be equal to you. You marched because you have hate in your heart and you did not want black people to have a fucking say. That is why you marched, and that is insane. It will never be the same.
And the reason we can say it's because of black people, because the president was running around trying to throw votes out of Atlanta. Throw votes out of Philadelphia, throw votes out of Detroit, throw votes out of places where black people were at, and saying, well, you know, they have a history of corruption. They have, I know how things go in Philly, like history of corruption.
I hate it so much.
That argument is so tired. And what it shows me is that white people, Republicans, whatever you want to say, they have no sense of accountability. They have none. They don't take it when we needed them to take it. And even when they need it for themselves at this point, they're still not taking accountability for their shit. Like, for you to say that this is similar, there's like, this is not like, these people would have never been out there. These people like came in with the intent to use harm, the intent to cause harm to other people. When those people were marching all summer, the people in the beginning of the day, NAACP, all your local affiliates, they were marching in peace with the cops, sometimes doing the right thing. The shit that popped off later, and I will never excuse that. That is what it is. I get why they did it, but it is what it is. These people went to DC like, hey, let's get this shit done tonight. Let's do it.
They planned it the same way they planned when they marched into the Michigan Capitol,
Yes.
armed and ready to do it. The same way they planned on kidnapping the Michigan
Yes.
governor. Like, I get, you know, you want to compare it to the right, but a lot of those things were like sporadic when things would happen. These are planned attacks.
Yeah.
Planned, ammunition planned attacks.
If there was an organizing of black people to this degree, they would literally go into their homes and kill them, like they've done for many, many years.
Yes.
Before they had a chance to wake up the day
Yes.
of January 6th and do whatever they were going to do, they would have been slaughtered in their homes.
Because that's what our buddy was saying on the news. He was like, because he follows the group that does all of the watching of the boards and stuff for all the known issues that we have. He's like, they knew about these people and what they were doing. But you, just like you're saying, like, they didn't do anything. They just stood by idly and let them gather like that and then waited to see what the fuck was going to happen. That's insane.
So we can agree that lack of security, like you said, was for privilege. Because I think with the Black Lives Matter movement, it was National Guard, it was thousands upon thousands of officers.
It was Kyle Rittenhouse handling the problem his damn self. It was everybody coming out to keep us from doing something.
And all they wanted to do was say, "Please stop killing us."
Yes.
And you, like I saw I forgot the comedian's name or whatever, but he did this whole reenactment of, and this was months ago, reenactment of white protesters versus black protesters, and the white protesters like had a Uzi, and he was like all in the cop's face, smacking the cop with his Uzi, and the cop was just like, "Oh, okay, freedom of speech, freedom of speech."
Oh, he had the helmet on.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I'm about to
And
say.
it was like ukulele attack, and then the guy was like, the black person was like, "Can you stop? Can you stop? Wait, what?" And then like hauled off on him to go take him out. And I was like, this is exactly what it is, because no one gave a fuck that these people were scaling the size of the building, or like you see that one that the black security guard that there, or whatever he was, officer maybe, that was inside,
Police.
and like you see him like literally running for his life as a mob comes around the fucking corner, just spewing all kinds of crazy shit, and I'm just like, hey. But if he would have taken his gun out and started just like laying them out, he would have been in trouble.
And they showed that the ones that were with the shits, like we're trying to stop it, the restraint they showed. I get why they showed it, but at the same time, it's maddening. Because where are the rubber bullets? Where's the fighting back? But I get when it's just you against a mob, you can't like he might have died if he pulled something on him. And I guess that was the better thing to do, but it was hurtful to see and to watch. And then when you see all the other things that have happened in or around the Capitol, I think I told Esquire, shout out to Raphael Warnock, he was arrested in the Capitol 3 years ago for praying with another group of national religious leaders. They were praying in the Capitol just as it was a prayer protest. They were praying. It was a protest, just a bunch of people singing, praying, nothing special, nothing crazy. Cops gathered around them after they were done praying. Cops arrested them and walked them out of the Capitol for praying. They were praying. And they got walked out immediately almost. And then we have 6 hours of foolishness in our nation's capital.
But I will say, when second shift came in, second shift was beating ass.
That was homie the clown in there.
They were not asking no questions. Like they was like, "Move, bow."
I think those are the people from Virginia and stuff like that was coming in up in
They
there.
was tired. They was tired. They had on the SWAT
It's supposed
gear
to be
and
my
everything.
day off.
They was upset.
Well, some of them were upset. Others were helping old people down the stairs very gently. I don't know if you've seen the video.
I saw
walking
help
down the
mom down
steps.
the steps.
And everything. I'm like, she need to be in cuffs.
And that's what they kept saying. Like, these people dispersed virtually on their own. Like, the fact they got to disperse peacefully on their own.
And just go home.
They walked out like, wow, it's beautiful.
And
in
Anderson
there.
Cooper said, where are they going? Is it probably the Olive Garden or to the Holiday Inn?
He said they about to go back to the Olive Garden,
Back to
Holiday Inn they
Olive
came
Garden.
from. I was like, yo, they catching strays for no reason.
and laugh about what the hell happened at the fucking Capitol.
So, fuck, I was about to say something. Whatever, I forgot.
Well, we're sitting here talking about owning up and our Republicans. Go
sorry.
ahead.
So the speaking of Republicans,
Okay.
The guy from Missouri,
Josh
Hawley.
yeah,
Get him out of here.
So they have mad photos of him like going around basically like cheering on the rioters and the terrorists and all this other shit. Then he came back and made a speech that evening, and I was like, whoa. This is a lie before God if I ever heard one, because this is not what you were just doing when you were literally out here hyping
Raising
these
your fist
motherfuckers
and
up.
shit. Yeah.
I'm like, you're literally, I don't know if he knew that he had gotten, captured or whatever, but like they were writing about it back in Missouri already because of shit. And he's over here like, so we're just thankful for, this is just a crazy situation that we're a part of. And I'm like, you motherfucker, like you was with this shit.
And the St. Louis Gazette is like, you got blood on your hands, sir.
But he's also been part of the incitement, like the subtle incitement all along. He's been part of the problem.
Pushing the lie.
Yes, he's been
pushing the
perpetuating that lie. Just, ugh.
Well, again, speaking of Republicans or people that we know in our lives who may lean in support of the president, do you think have you seen enough anger and outrage on their part over what happened in the Capitol at all? Anybody in our lives?
Yes, the ones that I know. Well, no, that support.
Yes, that support.
Well, I don't know
Donald.
I don't know personal people that support him. I know that people that I think might, but I don't know personally that they do.
I think it would have taken an actual death of a Republican senator, for the Republicans to, or someone in the House, for them to actually realize that this isn't for like for play,
Right.
Like, because even the person that said, make it stop, it's not a game anymore, and it's like, but everyone's okay. Like, none of them are harmed. Their families are fine. Like, everything's perfectly fine. And you don't wish harm on. I'm not wishing harm on anybody. Mm-hmm. But I think the only way for this message to go through, because they're so fucking delusional with their like party lines, is for one of them to get got. And please, no one get them. But my point is,
now
they
they're
don't understand
afraid.
it.
They were talking about that last night. The 197 of them that did not move to impeach. There have been whispers of them actually being concerned about their safety. They're concerned about Donald Trump's, retribution?
Yes.
They're concerned about his reach and the ability that he has to do something to them, which is insane. The fact that you can be concerned that a sitting president would harm you and your family in some way. Because we've impeached Nixon, we impeached Clinton. You weren't worried about Bill Clinton running up in your house. But they're concerned about Donald Trump.
And his supporters. Because at this point, I don't know if Donald Trump really even has a whole lot of control over his supporters at this point.
Oh, yeah.
Because at a certain point, they're going to take the message and keep moving. Because he comes back out a day later and says, you're not my supporter if you do violence, but you have been ginning these folks up for 4 years. Yeah. So they were talking about they were
Didn't he say like he loves them or something like that?
Yes, he did say that.
They're very special.
He did say that on the day of when he was, Mr. President, make it stop. Hey, guys, we can't be like the left. You got to go home. We love you. You're special. Just going home, and they proceeded to rage for a couple more hours in the White House.
Foolish.
I had a point to that. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So where do y'all think we're going from here? Like at this point, y'all think he's going to be convicted and thrown out in the next session when Joe Biden takes over, or what?
No, I don't. I have no faith. I have absolutely no faith that the United States of America will do anything different than what it's been doing for 400 some odd years.
Coley?
Well, I'm hoping, my hope is that with a flip Senate, that we can get it done. That's my hope. But there is a part of me that's just like, you know what, the way that they're acting, the way some of these Republicans refuse to acknowledge the foolishness. I have a quote here by AOC. What did she say? I love her. Shout out to her. She said, they don't care. They don't give a damn. They give a damn about white supremacy. They give a damn about preserving social order. They give a damn about the mythology of whiteness. And that is what's scary about all of this, is that they don't actually care about right and wrong. They only care about what furthers their agenda, and it won't work.
The House has 435, somewhere around there, 36 or something, representatives.
Mm-hmm. Yes. 437.
It's four something.
Of the four something, 10. Or let's split it in half, right? So let's say there's 225 on both sides. Let's just make it 450, right? 10. That is 5%. That's less than 5% of the Republicans.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I only have faith in this one thing. Every day that they put something out about this insurrection, riot, sedition, whatever, it's getting more and more intricate of how well planned it was. Even saying that there probably was some help from people inside the government,
or congressmen,
some of the Congress people. I feel like when they finally start putting things out every single day right before they get to that trial, and if I was Chuck Schumer or whoever's going to be over the trial or putting everything together, I would legitimately just lay out all the connecting parts of how we got to this fucking shit with Donald Trump, all the planning that was involved. And even if the Republicans choose not to vote to impeach, that still needs to be on record. That still needs to show that you took a vote against all of this that has been shown, not to mention the fact 5 people died, including a terrorist.
In this building.
Mm-hmm.
They said that they talked about the whole Confederate flag being in the building, and there had never been a breach of a Confederate flag inside of the Capitol building before, even with the Civil War. Mm-hmm. This is we've been invaded for the first time since War of 1812. It took Donald Trump ginning and gassing people up to have a Confederate flag put in, to have different spots where the American flag was taken down and the Trump flag was raised, to have an all-out assault on our legislation and our democracy, but you still want to give him a free pass? This is going to divide the nation further if we convict him.
That's what I've been trying to remember what I wanted to say, that right there. The unity talk is what I don't want any more of, and not because I am against unifying people and causes, but because you cannot ask for unity after everything that you have done was meant to separate. Like, you cannot ask for that. You have taken everything since the very beginning of your existence on this country soil. You have done to divide yourself from other people, and you cannot expect that we want to just reach across the aisle and be friendly. I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm not saying that we should, but we cannot let that be the rhetoric that we pass on. Like, you did this, you got us here, and you can't say that unity will bring us back. You don't even know what unity is. You can pick any event in the history of our nation, and it is at the core, it is you trying to divide and keep us separate. So you don't care about unity. That's not something that you're concerned with. So at this point, I'm not either.
This is crazy making at its most at its peak. Like, there's no other way to put it, because you sit here and you make it out. You do one thing, like you're saying, like you do one thing wholeheartedly, and then you say something else to the point where people believe you, and it's like, what? Because I heard a Republican say, it's not going to be good for Joe Biden to come in and try and like push unity. Like, our country is really divided, and it's like, you don't say.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
And
why
he has
is.
a tough job ahead of him. He does, because of y'all motherfuckers.
Like,
most definitely.
What was it, 74 million people? That even through all the bullshit, even through all the rhetoric, 74 million people still voted for this nigga. Like, I don't, and I'm not. Everyone has a right to vote for who you want to vote for. I'm not trying to take anyone's freedom of speech. I'm not trying to take anyone's, I'm not trying to, Jim Crow these motherfuckers like they did us. Like, none
From
of
unity,
that.
that's what their version of unity was, by the way. Jim Crow.
Yeah, no.
Let's let them do the things we can do over there.
But it was nothing was ever equal, but just separate. And so now we sit here and we look at all this, and I'm just like, guys, just shut the fuck up. Like, just please shut the entire fuck up, because what you're saying makes absolutely no sense. But the problem is, when you have enough people who yell one thing, if the voices are loud enough, then all of a sudden people believe that to be the truth, and it's not, and it's unfortunate.
Joe Biden is going to have to come in. Joe Biden is going to have to come in, and he's going to have to, number one, show that we are not dealing with this foolishness. We are not going to allow this foolishness. And right now, all of this is the Trump Justice Department that's in control, that's looking for these people. I would put together a task force, even more than they have right now, and we're going to let you know. We're going to call it what it is: terrorists, and we're going to we're going to throw the book at you. And thanks to that new that fucking executive order Donald Trump put out there about you getting 10 years for fucking up property and all that, let's throw that back on that too. We won't repeal that. And he's also going to get shit done. He's going to oversee that fucking impeachment thing. Hey, let the Senate do what they got to do, and also get his major agenda across. But there is no unity without fucking accountability.
Exactly. That has to be in there. And I think the good thing...
make sure they're all felons so they can't vote.
Ooh, that part. That'd be fun.
In some places.
The good thing is, like, while Donald Trump and his administration has been going off the rails for the last 4 years, Joe Biden has been in preparation for the last year and a half. So he has Joe Biden. They have been prepping what they want done. They're going in there with whether it works or not, we don't know. They're politicians. They said a lot of stuff to us on the campaign trail, but at the core, the things that I believe that the two of them and the people they're bringing on with them want, they have a plan, and that's more than we can say for the last 4 years. We've been out here wild westing for the last 4 years, but we have two politicians in the House now who have plans and who know what they're doing, and for better or for worse, they're at least going to try to work with it and make it happen. But there has to be order, and there has to be accountability for this other shit. Like Joe said, he said it. We need to be able to do my agenda, but we also need to be able to get this other thing done too simultaneously, and we need to do it quickly. I'm coming in here on Wednesday, and we need to get these things done.
A quick flashback to some Black Twitter stuff. There was a picture of Kamala whenever they won, and it was the bottom said, what happens when they breach the Capitol, and she said, "They did it, Joe."
Man, the Capitol, Joe.
Not they did it, Joe.
Black Twitter, love it.
And on that note, this has been this shit right here.
Slash who left the gate open.
Right.
Slash what the fuck is going on.
It's got to be better days ahead, but we need to make sure those fucking insurgents are fucking rounded up.
Along with their insurrectionists in chief.
If they are police officers, they need to be fired from the
Hell
force.
yeah.
Mike Vick these motherfuckers.
If they are veterans, they need to be fucking stripped of all of their benefits.
Mm-hmm.
If they are gold Olympic medalists,
They all gotta go.
I
sell
saw
their
that.
shit.
That's
and
wild.
Keep it moving. So
Yes.
this ain't cancel culture. This is fucking prosecution culture.
Shout out to that woman who called the cops on her ex-husband. I love
That made me happy. These things, the people who are literally out here like, yeah, nah, fuck
They
that.
heroes.
The chick. So I saw
They
one thing
heroes.
on Twitter, and this lady the lady got punched in the face.
Yes.
And her daughter was like, "Yeah, that's my mom."
Blasting her.
So no, that's my
So
mom.
good.
She's fucking stupid. That's my mom.
Put up a picture of them together, like here
She's
she
like,
is.
no,
right
that's
here.
really my fucking mom.
Wow.
Because the crazy part, and apparently the black lady lost her job or
She did.
whatever.
I
She was
saw
at the
that
Capitol
too.
too?
The black
She was a cop.
The
She
black lady
was
was
one of
some
the
kind
officers.
of
Was she security or something?
Something. She was something in like uniform and everything,
Yes.
and the white lady like hit her, and she punched her back, and then like the mob like swarmed the black lady. Like I'm like, you saw her hit her. She's like, why would she hit her unprovoked? So you hitting me is not provocation.
So the black lady lost her job too?
Yes.
The black lady lost her job. I don't know what happened to the white lady.
Oh.
She lost her nose.
And this was at the Capitol?
Yes, in the rotunda. She looked. Maybe she was like.
Oh, I did see that video. She was
like, decked
fucked
her.
up.
She hit her once. The
Like-
black lady hit with one little
And
hit.
that nose exploded.
Wow.
Yes.
You can tell it was
Okay.
a nose job.
Yeah.
But that shit was.
She said,
I didn't know that
black
was the
lady.
Capitol though. I did not know that was the
Yeah,
Capitol.
Yes,
yeah,
that
and the
was in
crazy
there.
part was there was another thing where someone got maced or something happened, and I think that they got assaulted by like a cop or something like. They were not even assaulted, but a cop like reprimanded them, and they were in pain. And the person came up was like, "Was it BLM? Was it BLM?"
Yes, I saw that too. She was like, yeah, and I'm like, no.
I'm like,
This is
what?
how the bullshit
It
starts.
wasn't even a black cop.
Speaking of which, that it wasn't Antifa.
Right.
It
Bro.
wasn't Black Lives
Bro.
Matter.
They have confirmed no connections.
They
to
did
none
not
of
put
that
on
shit.
Trump hats to go out there and take over.
I
Those-
said, look.
Those were certified lily white folks from the farm that was right on up there.
Or as Jake Tapper said, I think it was him. Or these were your dentists. These were your next door neighbors.
Yes.
These are people that you know that were out there. The congressmen, lawyers, doctors. Yeah, you had your backwoods people, sure, but there's plenty of regular ass people that's at their house right now, chilling with their wife and kids that were out there last week.
Somebody was like, I think it's one of those memes as well, like, your parents don't know how to do anything else with their phone, but they up here recording themselves. They were saying, you can't put everything on social media. Don't put all your business on social
Yes.
media. And these
Yes.
older folks is out here taking pictures at the Capitol of them wilding the
On
fuck
Facebook
out.
Live, like, oh my god,
Going in.
Apparently, I heard. Now, I don't know this for a fact, but I did hear this through the grapevine that the Capitol has like some kind of like cell tower situation underneath it.
Oh, my
so
God.
that people who are in the Capitol can have cell service or whatever.
that makes sense. I can see
So everybody's phones that were on are
pinging
pinging
it.
off of those towers.
that. Yes, won't he do
So
it?
Jesus knows.
I wasn't. Someone stole my phone. So he was teething.
Yes.
No.
Oh,
So
yes.
I don't know if that is true, but I pray that is true.
I pray that it is
and
too.
I just
Yes.
I want every last insurgent to be
Yes. Flash forward to this coming Sunday. Your pastor up in Middle America preaching a good little sermon. The Lord is my shepherd. I shut up. Oh, we got to get up.
I don't want to go to prison.
They rolling in with your AT&T bill. Show where the fuck you was at.
And after this, he went to his bitch's house. Okay,
Hey, Dale, there's some cops outside to see everything okay?
It don't even say the Capitol. I mean, it don't even say the address. It just say the Capitol. That's where the fuck you. That's the address.
That's it.
The Capitol.
Ain't no address.
Come on out of there, sir. Come on out of there,
bro. Sorry to make this continue, but this shit's funny. So the shit that was hilarious was watching that black sheriff arrest that woman and drag her away from her kids. And then apparently the whole crowd was like, you can't do that. You can't take her away from her kids. And he's like, yeah, yes, I can. I've arrested people with kids before. Thank you for your concern. And I'm like, it's just so sad that here we are in a sheriff, a green pant sheriff is doing his job, a blue life, if you will, is doing his job. And now y'all are like, you can't do that. What?
You're terrorists. You're terrorists. You need to have the whole book thrown at you. I want them to come out with like one of those slammer newspapers, and they need to update that every time somebody gets arrested that's related to this terrorist attack we just went through.
They need to take the page out of the what is that shit called? The pedophiles thing. What's it called?
Oh shit!
To catch a predator. To catch a predator.
No. Like we have to like list
sex offenders list.
The registry. They need to register as terrorists. They need to be registered as the actual terrorists.
So because Gitmo?
Because that is Guantanamo Bay. Guantanamo, Samtanamo. Send them motherfuckers to Alcatraz. I don't give a fuck.
That'd be fire.
Now when I finally buy my house, I'm looking at the demographics like, oh, this says, honey, it says there's an insurrectionist living next door. We can't.
Wow. Yes.
We can't do this.
Exactly.
I want that because I mean there are people who were 17 and the girl was 16, or the guy was 16 and the girl was 17, and because of whatever state they lived in, they're now registered as a sex offender for the rest of their fucking lives. Now there are legitimate people on that register as well, but like you have the people who went to the Capitol, not the ones who, because I'm sure there were some people who protested or whatever from a distance, and they did their part over here, and then they got up out
because they ain't know what was going on.
Because they did, but the ones who like climb the walls and literally storm the Capitol, every last one of them motherfuckers needs to be labeled as a terrorist
and lose their citizenship.
It needs to go on a permanent record, the same way it would go on anybody else's. And I'm sick and tired of this shit, because if that was a black mob of people that did that, because it would be a mob just the same, regardless of why they did it, they would, if they survived. Like if they lived to tell the story after they were beaten by however many cops that felt some kind of way that you broke into the Capitol, or they were massacred probably in the jail from all that other stuff, they would have no rights to do anything.
They'd be thrown under the jail that day.
Absolutely,
that day. It's not no getting back home and reflecting.
Them and anyone they thought was them
is
also in jail.
Oh God, yeah. So they're trying to identify people now by the most like minute of details to find the right person.
Meanwhile,
meanwhile, you look at these lineups and these niggas get, because didn't it happen to you before?
Yes.
And so I'm saying,
it did. Yes.
People do the craziest.
This is about my pain. Go ahead.
It's not. But my point is, like, the craziest shit happens when you have any type of melanin in your system, like in abundance at least, because maybe they have some melanin, they just don't know what to do with it. But it's not going to happen here. And I have zero faith. I have zero like hope that the people that have literally done one of the worst things to this country probably since 9/11, if I do say so myself, just because they're showing that they can do whatever the fuck they want and no one's going to do anything about it.
It's 20,000 or 30,000 people that were out there. We don't know the exact number that actually breached and went inside, but for it to be just under 200 people arrested.
Yeah, that's not enough.
A week later. And also at those Black Lives Matter protests, they even had like secret police grabbing people off of the street.
Yes.
And just taking them. You look around and where's Chuck? He is in the back of that van speeding down the street to be, logged
we had funds getting people out that didn't need to be in. That's how quickly they were locking us away. Like for existing in the space. Like, just aimlessly being here.
But these folks at the Capitol, they come out, I was like, oh my God, that was amazing.
That was invigorating.
It was exhilarating. I love that.
That was amazing.
I got work in the morning. If some guy was excellent to talk about, we're not supposed to be here. I was a Wednesday, I got to work, but I came up here anyway. And he smooth ran in and jumped through the window. So, I don't know.
Ugh.
Sickening.
I'm sure there is more that we could possibly say about what we want to see happen or what we think should be happening or double standards, but we can't talk all day. So this has been this shit right here. Y'all, if you see a terrorist, make sure if you see something, say something. They offering like $5,000 though.
You lucky I don't see my
for finding motherfuckers.
I'm dropping all the dimes.
I got one of my aunts. She's white, and I swear I ain't talked to her in a while, but I dare her hold her name up. Get on out there. Oh, sorry, auntie. I'll go half with you. It was mistaken identity.
It's your
FUBU moment. FUBU moment.
It's your
FUBU moment. FUBU.
Hey, welcome back.
It's your
FUBU moment, baby.
I really hate that y'all do this every time.
Look. So we're back with our FUBU moment. We were just going in about the Capitol and Capitol Police and everything like that, and them being overrun.
capital I for insurrection.
They say whenever
I like what you did there.
whenever there is a terrible moment, it's usually like a diamond in the rough.
Yes.
This next FUBU moment
Phoenix
is
from the ashes.
A diamond in the rough.
yes. Ooh. This next FUBU moment is dedicated to Officer Eugene Goodman.
Yes.
That is one of the blackest names I think I've ever heard.
Mr. Eugene Goodman. Brother Goodman is
Brother Goodman he cleaned up the church on the weekends.
Deacon Goodman definitely does.
They hailed him as a hero when he gets to church on Sunday. But so I don't know if y'all saw it before we figured out what was going on. There was that video of
we
that
thought he was
black
running.
dude.
Yes,
right, running away
life.
from the mob. But later on, we come to find out that Officer Goodman was actually doing his part to protect the United States Senate and those senators. Mm-hmm. So if you see a video out there of this black dude running, he is actually redirecting a mob away from an unguarded area where the United States senators was, and he got to a place with backup. I don't know if you saw in the internet video when the 4 officers stepped up, he was like, "Ooh, thank God."
I didn't make it that far in. My
Yes.
nerves were really bad during that video because that one guy in that Confederate shirt in the front with that hat looked like he had no teeth, and I was like, "Ooh, he looked dangerous."
Now, when he got to the top of them stairs, those other people ran up, and he was like, "Okay, here we go."
They
Now
were
we're
chasing
good.
after him, yeah. And but then some other officers were there as backup,
And flanked him, yes.
and he was like, "Ooh." He's still right there because he had been in his walkie the whole time. And I'm guessing they were getting to where he was.
Trying to run up steps. Running up steps backwards is a skill that I do not possess. Mm-hmm. So my big ass would have been laying down on the floor with the mob walking on top of me like fucking Mufasa with the stampede in the gorge.
Not the stampede.
Simba's down there.
Shout out to you, Unc.
Yeah.
Uncle Goodman.
Uncle
Gene.
Uncle Gene Goodman. You are a hero. We see you. We honor you.
Yes.
You know what medal he's up for?
The Congressional Medal of Freedom.
Oh wow.
So
That's what's up.
Congress honored that. Also, another honorable mention that was kind of overshadowed by the Capitol, Pastor Raphael Warnock, becoming the first black elected senator from the great state of Georgia.
Yes.
Shout out.
So Raphael,
The blue
Warnock.
Georgia.
So his victory was kind of overshadowed, but we see you, sir.
Yes.
We see you.
Salute.
Maybe he'll be the one giving Officer Eugene his medal.
I just pray that he don't have the long speeches at the Senate.
Who?
Pastor.
Oh, now I ain't gonna be before you long, but I'm gonna tell you why the good people need that $2,000.
Well, I think they give them time limits according to how long they've been there. Mm-hmm. That's something I noticed
He might have
yesterday
20
when I was
seconds.
watching. Yes. Anyway, shout out to them, FUBU. In all the darkness, there is goodness.
There is.
That's the FUBU moment. Well, this has been this episode, episode 8. Thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for just understanding, hopefully, where we came from. It was a lot of raw feelings about what was going on, so we had to say our part with it. What playlist we got out there right now?
The R&B Wave is out. I think that's the most recent one.
R&B Wave. Okay.
Yes.
So we should be working on a playlist here with the next 2 episodes or something like
Yes.
that, and coming out with another one. That's what number is that? 9? Is that 9?
I think this will be 10.
I came here completely unprepared.
It's just good. It's just
Yes.
good. Sometimes you don't necessarily need to know all the facts if it's good.
Yeah.
There you go. I like that.
That's
Either way, it's coming. Be on the lookout.
Well, look, as always, if you want to reach out to us, you can reach us by email at nightroundsclt@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you. Send us a line. Also, you can follow us at regular at Night Rounds on Twitter and IG. So we're always up there hanging out. Lancelot. Oh shit, we forgot him. He's still at the Capitol right now. He was caught up in the wave. Pray for him.
He was there on a tour.
I'm about to say he's the one with his school to go to tour.
He was on tour.
He was following the red tape.
Yes.
We told him, hey, take off your Knights of the Round Table t-shirt. We don't want to identify you just in case. So pray for him. But otherwise, this has been this episode of Knights of the Round Table. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another.
Yes.
Did I do it? I did it right?
Yes.
So this is your boy, Esquire.
It's your girl, Coley.
Oh, earth is ghetto. I wanna leave. You can beam me up. I'm out on the street by the corner store. You know, the one on 15. Got a bright shirt on, so I'm easy to see. I've been down here stranded.
We getting out
And
of here.
definitely I can leech my
That's Naji.
planet, but I need to leave. Can you see these people? It's hard to believe how they treat each other. It's hard to conceive all the word. It's ghetto.
All right, we rolling out.